Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Bryan Laskin, host here on the Patient First podcast. And as always, I'm excited that you're here. And today we're going to start off breaking down some themes of the next phase of dentistry. Now, if you aren't aware of the next phase of dentistry or you haven't been paying attention to this podcast, what we are talking about is Dentistry 3.0 or Connected Dentistry. If we look at dentistry, the history of dentistry is all leading up to Dentistry 1.0 or modern dentistry, the way we practice it today with tooth-colored fillings, four-handed dentistry, loops, all the cool stuff that we do every day to help patients. That's the kickoff of Dentistry 1.0. Then when I got out of dental school about 25 years ago, we were in the middle of a massive transition, much like today. And that transition was going from modern dentistry to digital dentistry. At the time, CAD/CAM was big. I've trained thousands of dentists on CAD/CAM dentistry. PMSs were just coming online. This whole transition to what we now know as digital dentistry, frankly, is a 25-year-old transition. And we're in the midst of another transition. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. I haven't fully capitalized on digital dentistry. That's fine. I get it. 25 years ago, if you hadn't capitalized on modern dentistry, you were still, plugging amalgams and writing in paper charts. It wasn't too late, right? People are still making that transition today. There's still people using film x-rays. I get it. However, those of us that want to actually move the industry forward, that want to do the best for our patients, that are trying to innovate in the space, all recognize that digital dentistry has been here for a very long time. Again, 25 years plus. If you're not digital, you get there. But there's also themes that we're going to be able to leverage in Dentistry 3.0, even if we haven't made the transition to Dentistry 2.0. What do I mean by that? If you still have paper charts and film x-rays, you can still do a CAD/CAM crown, right? And similarly with Dentistry 3.0 and Connected Dentistry. What we're talking about here is interoperability, connecting our systems, connecting our practices. DSOs are taking off, have already taken off like crazy in dentistry, connecting directly with our patients, connecting with our medical colleagues. A lot of this what's going on right now. And again, we're just at the tip of the iceberg right now, the tip of the spear of connected dentistry, which I believe is going to lead to the biggest wave of innovation and elevation of care that we have seen in my lifetime for sure. So we're going to be detailing out on this podcast intermittently some features, some functions of what Dentistry 3.0 looks like. Because just like with digital dentistry, at some point 25 years ago, somebody could talk about how a film x-ray differs from a sensor x-ray or a digital x-ray. So what is the difference between x-rays 1.0 to 2.0? It's the film, it's on the computer, and then there also would be a x-ray version of Dentistry 3.0, which we very well may outline at a segment in the future. But today, my friends, we're going to be talking about what most of you care a lot about, which is how you get paid. So we're going to be talking about payments. Dentistry 1.0 payments. Now, I know what you're thinking, Bryan. Dentistry 1.0 payments. This is archaic, right? This is like the bartering system. Boy, if I do your filling, you'll get 12 chickens. No, this isn't bartering. However, I know that bartering is still out there and that dentists are doing it. And frankly, I never really have because it's a nightmare. I know one dentist that bartered with somebody to do flooring in his house, and all the person did was complain about how it must be nice to be a dentist because you work for 2 hours and I'm working all day, right? We all know that not to be like that's a reductive logic. However, I don't know how anybody makes bartering works. We're not talking about chickens. We're not talking about payments with an abacus. Actually, we're talking again about 1.0 is modern dentistry. So what would modern dentistry 1.0 payments look like? It'd be cash, check, or even credit cards, right? You being the bank, you sending out paper statements for people to pay their bill, and then either calling in or using a credit card or coming in and paying with cash. And again, I'm not bashing it. I'm just reporting. There's lots of technologies that are great in Dentistry 1.0. Obviously, credit cards are phenomenal, but your chairs work great just as a Dentistry 1.0 chair. If you have a non-connected chair, if there's no digital aspects to your chair that your patients sit in, or even your operating stool, it works just fine. And same thing is true with payments. If somebody's going to come in and pay with their credit card, great. However, I think you'll see that when we go from payments 1.0 to 2.0 to 3.0, there are now much easier ways, more convenient ways for you to get paid. And in an era where it's so difficult to be profitable, getting paid easily is absolutely paramount. So we're going to move on to to payments 2.0. So payments 2.0, I'm thinking of things like membership plans and Apple Pay. Innovations beyond just getting paid. My office, we created a savings plan where people would pay X amount per month, X amounts per year, and they would get all of their preventive treatment. And in addition to their preventive treatment, they would get a discount on most services. Now, when we sent out the letter for our plan, people went around the neighborhood showing off the letter, and it did wonders for my practice. Look, you're basically doing what I think is great, which is honoring and rewarding your most loyal patients, your most loyal customers. So a membership plan is phenomenal. And look, obviously there's companies that create membership plans and monitor them. There's state laws that you have to consider, whether or not what you can do in your state as far as having a membership plan for your practice. But in my world, payments 2.0, membership plans fall under that. Also, Apple Pay, Google Pay, right? People paying with their watch, with their phone. It makes it convenient. And I would urge you, if you're not doing a membership plan, you're not doing Apple Pay, Google Pay, it's probably a good idea. But again, this is what I would say 2.0. This is actually old technology. It's been around for at least a decade, and in the place of membership plans, probably a couple decades. So that's what dentist payments 2.0. 1.0, cash, check, or charge. Then payments 2.0, membership plans, and Apple Pay, Google Pay. So what then, Brian, is payments 3.0? What can you do beyond? And I would also put the third-party financing in payments 2.0, because obviously that makes it so that a lot of people can afford care that otherwise wouldn't. So I would put third-party financing also in a 2.0 technology. Payments 3.0, I think, is the next phase where payments are going to want to pay, which is where they pay for everything on their mobile phone through a comprehensive patient application that your practice leverages. Easy to do. If you need help, contact us at ToothApps. An application with your logo and your colors on it that when people are in the application, it makes it easy to pay with a couple clicks. Why is this so innovative? Well, there's a reason why Starbucks has an app, right? In fact, it actually saved the company. In 2021, Starbucks reported $181 million in revenue from unused reward cards and gift cards and loyalty accounts, which was about 1% of all of its sales and 4.3% of its net income. So 1% of sales and over 4% of its net income. This was an increase from the previous year when Starbucks reported about 145 million. So pretty good increase year over year from 145 to 181 million in revenue from unused gift cards and loyalty accounts. Now, it's not to say that I would recommend that you're going to be like Starbucks and have a loyalty program where people are putting a lot of money onto it, although it certainly could be if you were innovative and wanted to move in that direction. But it shows you the power of having an application with a loyalty program where people can pay directly within the application. Now, the ToothApps patient application, so the only application that makes it available for patients to receive their records and directly communicate with your practice, allows this by giving patients their payment options directly within the application. They can pay through the application. They can use Google Pay or Apple Pay or their credit card or any other form of payment, even direct to their bank account directly from their phone. Again, it has your logo and colors with customization options. You can securely message patients back and forth with your team. So if they have a question about their bill, if they have a question about their treatment plan, they can answer it with a quick, secure message. They can reschedule their appointments or make a new patient appointment directly from the application. In fact, new patients that don't even see you are going to see you more and more by searching your area and if you have the patient application. Then again, patients can review treatment plans or whatever clinical information you choose to share with them. And they can confirm their appointments, do reminders, so much more. And again, people can pay right under their noses with a couple clicks. 50% of patients that see an Epic physician that uses Epic download and use MyChart for very simple functionalities. I don't know about you, but I pay my bill. All of my invoicing for my physician goes through MyChart. Why wouldn't people want to do the same thing with you? You'd be surprised how many people want to pay their bill through a secure mobile application that they can also securely message you to and handle all their confirmations and everything else. So that, my friends, is the wrap up for the transition from payments 1.0, cash, credit card, checks, to 2.0, payment plans, third-party financing, Apple, Google Pay, to payments 3.0, connected dentistry, connecting directly with your patients through the secure mobile application directly on their phone. If you want to know how to get started, let me know. Also, let me know if you have other ideas, any thoughts about payments, about where we're going as an industry when it comes to payments. We could obviously talk about insurance, but dental insurance 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0 would be a whole another podcast that hopefully we'll get to in the near future. Hope you enjoyed it. And of course, I look forward to talking with you next week right here on the Patient First Podcast.